What's going on, guys? Welcome back. Today is Tuesday, August 15th. We're going to be looking for another silver bullet entry on Eurodollar today. Earlier this morning, we had news at 8:30. We had CPI. And then later tonight, we have more high impact news at 10 and 11 p.m., but I'm not going to be trading those. So we'll see what the market does around this area tomorrow. But for today, we have CPI that has already passed at 8:30. About right here, we could see that price with this wick right here swept through all of this liquidity, tapped back into this fair value gap right here, and then continued moving higher, ultimately targeting these buy stops resting up here. So silver bullet is between 10 a.m. and 11 a.m. So this is where we have to look for our setup. These lines right here, this one and this one, are the hourly SIBI right here. So price just broke above this hourly SIBI high. And we have about 11 minutes to see whether price wants to close above it or pull back into the zone and close below it. Now I could see a couple of things that could potentially happen here. One of them is price could close above here, pull back into this level right here, and then continue moving higher, targeting this buy side right here. Or it could continue pulling down, running through this 1 hour SIBI low and targeting these relatively equal lows on the hourly time frame. If we were to go to the 15-minute time frame, we see that price made a huge displacement lower, shifted in market structure right here. It shifted in market structure, pulled back into the zone, consolidated a little bit between this hourly SIBI, and then finally right here it broke above it, pulled back, swept through all this liquidity, and continued moving higher. So I want to be looking for buys for our silver bullet today, targeting these highs and these highs. Now, as we said earlier yesterday, price tapped into the weekly volume imbalance that we could see right over here. Rebalanced it and pulled back. Now there is a weekly fair value gap here with sell side resting right below it that price has not tapped into yet. But we also see that there is an order block right here that is being respected so far for the week. So multiple things can happen for the week. Price can either close with an undecisive candle for the week, or it could continue going lower, target these lows, tap into this weekly fair value gap, or since it's respecting this order block right here so far, it could pull back up, run through these highs, and fill the remaining imbalance of this fair value gap. So we just have to wait and see what price wants to do, so it can show us where it wants to go, and for us to be able to identify which liquidity is more likely to get taken out. Now this purple line right here, as well as this purple line right here, are the daily BISI fair value gap that I will show you right here. This fair value gap right here, the daily BISI, not a SIBI, BISI, buy side imbalance, sell side inefficiency. I marked it out with this purple line right here. This is the BISI low, and this purple line right here is the daily BISI high. That price did close below, and then it pulled back up. It did leave behind a small daily fair value gap right here. So I could see price breaking above this buy side, tapping into this small fair value gap, and potentially tapping into the mean threshold of this wick right here in order to continue going lower and ultimately draw towards this weekly fair value gap. Let me mark that out on the charts. 102.29. 102.29. Here we go. Let me turn this into an orange line right here. Okay. So we have about 5 minutes left before we start looking for trades. So, from what we can see so far, price swept through all this liquidity, pushed back up, left behind a fair value gap right here, a BISI fair value gap right here. That price did fill with a wick, tapped back into 845's high, a little bit below it, but it also, we could see that it also tapped into this fair value gap right here, turning it into a 15-minute inverse fair value gap. Okay? Tapped back into it, respected it, continued going higher. And it did close above these highs right here, creating a shift in market structure. So now, we want to be looking for longs targeting these highs. And then ultimately, we want to see price tap into this level for the daily premium wick and see what it wants to do from there. This wick right here. So now we do the fun part, which is the waiting game. We wait to see what price wants to do. So on the 5-minute time frame, we see that this 8:30 candle was CPI news, and this is the candle that swept through all of this liquidity right here. Created a higher high, lower high, and then shifted in market structure. And what do we see right here? We see that price pulled back into this high. The high of this candle right here is 93.25, and the opening of this candle right here is 93.25. So what do we see here? We see that it tapped back into it to the point. This closed at 93.25 and this opened at 93.25. So this could only mean that it's respecting this level, could continue moving higher, and eventually targeting these highs right here. So price did sweep this liquidity right here. And ultimately created relatively equal highs between this level and this level. Right here and right here we have relatively equal highs that I would like to see get taken out. So let me put that back on the chart, change it to blue. So these highs right here I would like to see get ran through. So it's 10 a.m. right now, silver bullet hours. So now we gotta wait and see wait for a setup to form and see what we could get on Eurodollar. If price were to break these lows, which I could see it do because there is an imbalance right here and an imbalance right here, it could tap into them, continue going higher, or it could just retest this fair value gap, 15-minute fair value gap, inverse fair value gap. It could retest it and continue moving higher. Let's take a fib from this point to this point. This is the 50% zone. And we could see that the target lines up almost perfectly with these highs. So And we could see perfectly that the 50% level of this fair value gap lines perfectly with the 50% level of this entire move right here, which means that this is a strong level right here. And we could see price to continue going higher, which I will wait for a setup to form, if there is a setup that forms for today. Yesterday we had no AM setups, but we see that there's a bullish order block right here that it created. But I still want to wait and see what price wants to do, because right now it's sort of consolidating, and I don't want to take an entry right here. I want to take an entry when I see a displacement. So it's retesting this SIBI, this 1 hour SIBI high. How does it want to react off of this level? So if we were to take the midpoint of this SIBI, it would be right here, which price already pulled back into. Now it's just continuing moving higher. 15-minute time frame. Again, fair value gap right here. Bodies are closing above the 50% level of this fair value gap, which is a good thing. We still have this candle right here, which could retest this 15-minute fair value gap one more time, continue going lower, higher. We know that price always, before it makes its initial move, price likes to move up before it moves down, and it likes to move down before it moves up. I want to see where midnight opening was, which is about right here. So midnight opening right here. Price is above it, went below it a little bit, swept through liquidity, continued going higher. So I'm looking for price to take out these right here, tap into this small fair value gap, as well as tap into this midpoint of this daily wick. Ultimately though, I would like to see price take out these lows right here, because price is extremely attracted to equal lows and equal highs, which is exactly what we have right here on the daily time frame. So we still wait patiently to see what price wants to do. So price closed below this level, retested it. Now it could continue going lower, but we shall see. Still no fair value gap, no entry just yet. We're still waiting. We're still waiting. It could sweep these lows, tap into this 1 minute fair value gap, BISI, as well as this 1 minute order block right here, which I will mark out with this line. Let's make this purple, just a little bit thicker. 1 minute bullish order block. That's resting inside this fair value gap as well. So if price were to tap into here, it could be a good indication that it's going to continue going higher if it respects this level. But if it runs through this level, then it's clear that price is wanting to take out these lows, and these lows. But ultimately, I would like to see price take out this buy side right here. So it's back into the 15-minute fair value gap. Let's see how it wants to react off of this level. Does it want to respect it, or does it want to run through it? Notice that we also have a bullish order block right here that price is currently inside of. So if I were to see something like this, and then price sweeps through these highs right here, then from here I would look for a pullback continuation higher. But also, if price were to run through these lows, tap into this fair value gap, if it pulls back, respects this zone right here, continues going lower, I would look for a setup right here, continuation going lower, targeting the rest of these lows, the remaining of these lows. But long term, we are still bullish, targeting the 15-minute buy side liquidity, as well as these relatively equal highs. We also have this 5-minute bullish order block right here that we could see price tap into. Continuation going higher, continue going higher. I'll make this one purple as well, a little bit thicker. 5-minute bullish order block. Oops. To the right. Make it white, just like that. So let me see what it wants to do from right here. If it respects this level right here, shifts the market structure to the upside, I'll wait for a pullback into a fair value gap from the displacement leg, continue going higher. So far, the bodies are respecting this 15-minute fair value gap, inverse fair value gap, as we can see right here. Wicks do the damage. We could see that this wick closed outside of this 15-minute fair value gap. Wicks do the damage, but bodies tell the story. And so far, the bodies of this move are telling me that it's respecting this 15-minute fair value gap, as well as this order block right here. Still, no entries just yet. But we want to wait and see what price wants to do. Now keep in mind, we don't always get an entry every single day. This is what we do. We wait, we look at the charts. If there's an entry that's presented, we take it. If there's no entry presented, we close the charts, move on about our days, and come back again tomorrow. Because we don't want to be chasing price. This is exactly what the market wants us to do in order to destroy our accounts. We don't want to do that. We want to wait and let price come to us. We want price to give us an opportunity that we could profit from. In other words, we want to look for A+ setups. So price is still respecting the 15-minute fair value gap, closing inside of that range. But still no confirmation of where price wants to go or where we should get an entry. But we could see right here that these lows have been swept by this candle. Let me change it to something bright. Let's do green. All right. So look right here. Strong movement lower on the 1 hour time frame, but still no shift in market structure just yet. 5-minute time frame. Price looks like it's heading lower. It just tapped into the 5-minute bullish order block. It closed below it on the 1-minute time frame, and it could potentially leave behind a fair value gap right here. So we have about 25 seconds left for this candle, and it looks like it just created a fair value gap right over here, tapping into this fair value gap and now completely running through it. Where does it want to close? Does it want to close below this range or above it? Right here, we could potentially take a short entry with our stops resting above here, and our take profits resting about right here for a good 20 pip take profit. Let's see what it wants to do here. So price did close below this 1-minute fair value gap, so it could continue moving lower. If it pulls back into this fair value gap. Just like that. So price did tap us in. I am now in a euro-dollar short position. Now if it runs through this 1-minute bullish order block, I will move my stop loss to break even just to make it a risk-free trade. But if it displaces higher, taking out these highs, then it's more likely to continue going higher and ultimately targeting this 15-minute bullish buy side, which I first would like to see price continue going lower. But it did close below this 5-minute BISI right here. We can see from this candle's high, price did close below it. So now we just play the waiting game. Price closed below the 5-minute bullish order block, came back, retested it, and now is continuing to move lower. So I want to see this sell side get taken out, and ultimately this sell side get taken out as well. Our price is yet to take out these lows, which I want to see it do before I even think about touching my stop loss. It's retesting that 5-minute bullish order block again. And if price were to close above these highs, we could see a valid shift in market structure to the upside, because price swept through these lows, created a lower low, lower high, higher low. So this high right here has been broken through, closed above it. This candle closed above it, and if this candle closes up here without coming back to it, left behind another fair value gap, which price could pull back into and continue moving higher. And that looks like exactly what price is wanting to do. So I'm going to go ahead and mark this fair value gap right here, right here. Alright, I'm stopped out, just fine. But now, this would be our more safer bet, targeting these highs right here, 15 pips, perfect. So this is where I would place my buy position. Could see price pull back into this level, continue going higher. Now that it shifted in market structure after it broke these highs right here. So I have a buy limit order right here. still have yet to be tapped in. And we are officially in. With this candle right here. If price were to close above this hourly SIBI high, I will start to adjust my stop loss, possibly move it to break even just to make it a risk-free trade if it doesn't decide to stop me out here. Looks like price is accumulating orders right here. Still watching to see what it wants to do, so I could manage my trade properly. There we go. Price has retested this hourly CB high. I want to see if it wants to close above it. Which so far it's rejecting. Oh, let me adjust my entry because I didn't enter at the exact price that I wanted to get in at. Like so. So price didn't enter me at this level right here because of spreads, but it did fill me in right here at this level where price is currently consolidating. So now we just play the waiting game. Let's see how it wants to play out. It's retesting the hourly CB high once more. Alright, look at that. Now, if it were to close above this high right here, I want to see it continue to target these equal highs right here, and ultimately these equal highs right here. But we know in the 15-minute time frame that this is the ultimate high that we're aiming for. But since we entered right here, we want to see how price reacts off of this level. So here we go. Price closed above this high, so it could retest this zone, tap back into this fair value gap, this tiny fair value gap, and continue going higher. Stop loss has been adjusted to right below this fair value gap right here, right below the candle of the fair value gap. So we could see price is still drawing towards this buy side liquidity right here for our TP1, and once it hits this level, we'll take partials, move our stop loss to break even, and then let the rest of it run. we could see price is pulling back into this fair value gap right here. How does it want to react from this level? Does it want to respect it and continue going higher? Does it want to run a little bit lower, grab this liquidity and continue going higher, or does it want to continue going lower? It still looks like price is drawing towards these equal highs right here, this buy side resting above here. We have about 18 minutes until 11 a.m., which is the end of our silver bullet trading hours. Meaning we just have to let our entry do its thing, and that could be one of two options. It could either hit our take profit, or it could hit our stop loss. But we wait and see, let price do its thing, let it work its magic. We still have this buy side level resting up here, as well as this buy side level resting up here. And on the higher time frames, we have ultimately this buy side right here that I want to see price take out. Stop loss. But we wait and see, let price do its thing, let it work its magic. We still have this buy side level resting up here, as well as this buy side level resting up here. And on the higher time frames, we have ultimately this buy side right here that I want to see price take out. So I noticed there is an echo in this video. I'm not sure why, but I will definitely look into that and get that taken care of, because that's no fun. Echo is no fun. So price looks like it's pulling back a little bit. Let's see what it wants to do. I'm going to measure this fib right here. 50% level right here, resting right inside of this 15-minute inverse fair value gap, which price could tap back into and continue going higher, or it could run through, take out these lows right here, ultimately these lows right here, for the daily BISI high. But we wait and see patiently what price wants to do. it did run through this fair value gap, and if it runs above it again, closes above it, this becomes a 1 minute inverse fair value gap. But always remember that in order for price to move higher, it has to move lower, and vice versa. In order for price to move lower, it has to move higher. But we're going to stick with our trade for now and see what it wants to do. So 15 pips right above here, but we're going to ultimately aim for 20 pips on the euro dollar. Let's see what the dollar is doing. Okay, so the dollar swept buy side liquidity right here. Now it's moving lower, targeting sell side liquidity. It wicked around this area, but it hasn't broken it, so it could ultimately break these lows, and euro dollar would like to do the opposite. So if we were looking at euro dollar, this is exactly what euro dollar looks like. This is still the dollar index, but inverted. So this is the high. If I put it back to normal view, this is how it looks like normally. But if I were to flip it and compare that to the euro dollar, this is exactly what the euro dollar looks like, and it looks like it's targeting these highs up here, or in this case for the dollar index, these lows. So if we were to flip it back to normal, it's these lows right here that price is targeting. Ultimately, there is a fair value gap right here on the 15-minute time frame that price could draw back into. And this 15-minute fair value gap rests inside of this hourly bullish order block right here. So going back on the euro dollar right here, it's the same thing we just saw for Dixie, just inverted. Price is targeting these highs right here, and ultimately this buy side right here. So I'm still confident that price is going to do what it's doing. So right here we see that price hit our TP1, and this is where I'm going to take partials of my trade. And then move my stop loss to break even, making this a risk-free trade. So I moved my stop loss 1 pip above our entry point. We have taken partials. Now we're gonna let the rest of it run, and I would like to see this buy side area get taken out. So this is exactly where I'm gonna let my runners go to. So I'm gonna move that on my MetaTrader account up to these highs right here. And let price do its magic. So we are currently in a risk-free trade. TP1 has been hit. So now let me just change it to broken line. TP1 has been hit. We're still waiting for these relatively equal highs to get taken out, but ultimately we are resting in a risk-free trade. We have taken partials right here. I've took 50% off my position for about 13 pips, something around that range. And now I'm just gonna let the rest of it do its magic. We are about 10 minutes away from Silver Bullet closing hours. No more trades. I'm just going to let this one do its thing. It's a risk-free trade, but I'm going to keep it right here on TradingView just to show my initial entry. But now we just wait and see what price wants to do. We do have an imbalance right here for this candle and this candle, which price could rebalance, continue going higher on the 1 minute time frame. We also have a 5-minute bullish order block right here, which price could tap into. That's how it looks like on the 1 minute time frame. Price could tap back into this level, ultimately tapping into this fair value gap right here. Whoops. Let me move this out of the way just to make it a little bit cleaner. This originally right here would be our best entry, but because of spreads, I wasn't tapped in, so I entered right here when I had the chance before it was too late. And now I could see price tap back into this level for the 5-minute bullish order block, which also has a 1 minute bullish order block resting right below it. Price could tap back into this level, continue going higher. So if you missed the trade, this could be another potential trade entry for you, targeting the same highs. But I'm not going to get into this trade. I'm already inside of this one. I don't want to scale into it today because the first trade that we took for today was a loss. We took a short somewhere around this area, which was a loss. And then price decided to shift in market structure, displace higher, targeting these highs, and ultimately it should target these highs resting above here as well. So now we just wait and see what price is going to do. This is where I like to close my charts. Since I'm in a risk-free trade, I don't care what happens. Now if my stop loss was a hit, I'm not worried. I'm not losing any money. I've already secured some profits, and I would just go on about my day and do something else. But I'm gonna wait it out until at least 11 o'clock and see what happens from now until then. So we could see price tap back into this 1 minute fair value gap, as well as this 5-minute bullish order block. So far it's respecting it, so it could, if we take our fib, measure it from this low to this high, we see that this is the fair value gap that's in our discount zone for this PD array. Price tapped back into it, respected it, has not run through it yet. if it wants to run through it, it could target these lows, retest this 15-minute fair value gap. But so far, it looks like it's still retesting this. If it were to pull back and continue going lower and break these lows, then we have a 1-minute shift in market structure for internal shorts. But I'm still holding my position with a risk-free trade, targeting our 15-minute buy side right here. I first would like to see price run through these relatively equal highs right here before it continues moving higher to this buy side up here. I'm going to take this out of the way just to make the chart a little bit cleaner, as well as this right here. Let me move the fib out of the way. Take this out, replace it with some cleaner looking lines right here. I'll make it green, green. It closed below the 5-minute order block, pulled back up, retested it, but also testing this, it's testing the midpoint of the 5-minute order block right here. So now we still wait patiently and see what price wants to do. We have 3 minutes left for this silver bullet timing. And if price decides to break this high right here with energy, I will trail my stop loss below these lows right here, and then I will continue managing my trade off stream as well, because it doesn't look like it's going to hit our TP, our ultimate TP right here, which is this 15-minute buy side between our silver bullet timing. But it did run through this high right here. Let's see how it closes. If it closes above, I will gladly trail my stop loss above these lows. You could trail it up to these lows right here, but since I'm still waiting for the higher time frame to get hit, I'm not going to move my stop loss up here. I'm going to move it right below these lows to give it some room to breathe until it hits our take profit. So price did close above, so now I will trail my stop loss right below these lows for 2.5 pips. So now my stop loss is resting right at these lows right here. And whatever happens now is none of my concern, because I am in a profitable trade, risk-free trade. So now whatever price wants to do, I'm okay with. If it wants to hit my TP, perfect. If it wants to hit my stop loss, still perfect. Because either way, it is a risk-free trade. Alright. Now, if spreads didn't kill me and filled me in at this fair value gap right here, I would have closed my entire position right up here, even though I'm still confident that price is going to take out these equal highs right here and ultimately this buy side up here. But we have to work with what we have, and sometimes our spreads don't like to do what we want them to do. Alright, now it's 11 o'clock. silver bullet hours are completed. So let me take this line out. Oops, not that. Hold on. So this is what we have so far. Still in a risk-free trade. If price were to take out these lows, then I'm out of the trade, but still in a profitable position. But for now, I want to thank you guys for tuning in. I will be back for tomorrow, and then I will not be able to stream until next week because I'm gonna be out of town doing some work. But until then, I will talk to you guys later. Thank you guys for tuning in.